What's good guys, Venny here, bringing you another video, and today we're going to be doing the FUT 20 new icons. It's a little bit late compared to when everyone else is doing, all the big YouTubers and that, but I'm going to sort of just give you my opinion on them, like a more of a pro player's perspective on are the players going to be any good. I think when it's all the other YouTubers, none of them really have the pro level experience to actually give you an actual in-game analysis without actually knowing how the player plays. So hopefully I can give you guys a little bit of an insight going into FIFA 20 so you know which icons to pick up and whatnot. I might be wrong, but you know, most of the time I would say I'm right with usually predicting how good certain players are going to be. So we're going to start off with the new icons here. As you see, their new page on the EA website, and it's the FUT 20 icons. Obviously we got, I think it's like 15, 16 new icons, starting off as Zidane, Pirlo, Drogba, Ian Wright, Koeman, Carlos Alberto, I think his name's Garrincha, Essien, Zambrota, Barnes, Rush, Sanchez, Guardiola, Garrincha, and also Kaka, but he's for some reason not on this image, but he has been announced as an icon. I know further down on this page it will show his stats and whatnot. We're going to start off with Zidane. This guy has got to be the main icon what's dropped this year. I think he's one of them guys we've been wanting for a long time when it comes to FIFA. As soon as the icons got released, I think people was like, yeah, Zidane. You know, he's obviously got the famous headbutt, but apart from that, he was an absolute baller. Juve days, Real Madrid days, you name it. Even for France, he was a baller. But what's going to make this guy so good compared to maybe other icons who would have similar stats to him? One, his stats are ridiculous anyway, so most icons don't have that in their favour. He's a cover star, and I think this isn't really talked about enough on certain players. When they're a cover star, they are ridiculous. Like last year, I think we had Ronaldo and they went into Neymar. I usually just feel like if they're a cover star, they're slightly more better than what the card actually says. So I think Van Dijk's going to be ridiculously good. Even Hazard, I think, is going to be really good this year. But I think the main guy is Zidane here. I think he's just going to be an absolute broken icon. I believe he's 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot. Not 100% sure what the skill moves and weak foot on all these players. I do believe on FUTWiz, so you can have a look if you want. I think it's all announced on there. But looking at the base card, obviously he's got a prime moment still to come, but his prime card is looking ridiculous. 85 pace, 92 shot, 96 passing, 95 dribbling, 75 defending, 86 physical. He's got a 96, 94 and a 91, so all his cards are going to be expensive. It's just going to be a great card to use. 97 rated is probably going to be his prime moments overall rating. Yeah, super overpowered card. I think he's going to be play him like right centre mid, left centre mid. I could imagine him in his best position is going to be like Cam in maybe a 4-2-3-1 or even in a narrow. But if I was playing a narrow, I think I would rather this guy in as a centre mid, a right centre mid, left centre mid. I'm thinking about dream teams here. If you could have Hullet on one side and Zidane on the other, you are going to destroy people, man. It'd be super fun. 5-star weak foot all over the gaff. You know, solid card. Going into the next one, we got Pep Guardiola. I didn't know how much of a baller Pep was in his day, but his card is telling me that he was a solid player. Perhaps is part of a fellow icon, Johan Cruyff's famous dream team, won a La Liga. So obviously he was a serious baller. It makes sense because he's an absolute unbelievable manager. But I didn't actually know he was that good as a footballer. I think there was some footballer who actually, I think it was Eto'o or something, and said he was an awful footballer. So that's why I maybe just got that stigma of Guardiola. But his card is looking very solid. I don't know how tall he is. I assume he's 6 foot. And he's got 78 pace, 65 shot, 88 passing, 81 dribbling, 88 defending, 83 physical. If he's 6 foot, this card could be like the cheap Vieira. I think we had Ballack come in last year, and the problem with Ballack, he was too stiff. But I think Guardiola is going to be maybe the cheap version of Vieira for sure. He looks solid all over. Yeah, I think maybe a card to pick up, but until the game's actually out, I wouldn't be 100% sure, and I don't know his height, weak foot and skill moves, so that's sort of a slight problem, but I definitely think he's one to watch out for. But I said that about Michael Ballack last year and he was awful. So next we have Ronald Koeman, obviously the Dutch manager right now, decent little job over there. Obviously a decent manager and also an unbelievable footballer. Oh, that's why he's got this icon card. His baby card is looking awful, so we're going to skip past this one, right? That is not we don't want that. It's way too slow. You know, all the other stats are looking nice, but he's just way too slow. I'm looking at this prime card, right, and even his like middle card, his prime moments card is gonna be ridiculous too. But 75 pace, 88 shot, 89 passing, 80 dribbling, 90 defending, 86 physical. I can imagine him being really good as a CDM. So maybe starting as like a 5-back. So you have like already 2 centre-backs and then you move Koeman into the CDM role. He's also going to be a ridiculous centre-back, as you can imagine. I'm just thinking where could you utilise that shooting and passing, because that's ridiculously high for a centre-back. I think it's going to be very solid. Depends what his agility is and whatnot. If he's got good agility, he's going to be one of the best centre-backs for sure. Definitely got more than enough pace with 75 and 77. Yeah, with the 77 and 75 pace, it's going to be a serious problem. I think his prime moment is probably going to have like 77 pace as well, with obviously slightly more higher stats everywhere else. So he's going to be definitely, I think he's going to be, you know, like how Blanc is for people. I think people really like Blanc on this game. It goes like Maldini, Rio, Blanc, and I think they're the main 3 centre-back icons. I think Koeman now has put himself up there with them 3. Definitely got more than enough pace, as mentioned before. But solid card all over. Definitely interested to see what he's like, but I know how good Baby Rio is 85, so I don't know if I pick this card over the Baby Rio. Next one, Michael Essien. What an absolute baller. Obviously, being an English person, I got to see Essien in the Premier League tear it up. What a monster. This guy was like the Makelele of like his era of football. When Chelsea lost Makelele, I think they was a bit worried what hole he was missing, and obviously eventually they brought in Essien, who was phenomenal for them. They played at CDM, even at times he had to play right back, but what a player. And as you can see on his card, he is looking ridiculous. 85 pace, 76 shot, 81 pass, 82 dribble, 90 defending, 90 physical on his prime card. But the card what really stood out to me out of all these is actually his baby card. 83 pace, 72 shots, 75 passes, 78 dribbling, 85 defending, and 87 physical. This card will be fairly cheap, I think, compared to the other two. Well, I think he might be a bit more expensive than the 87. But I think he's going to be a fairly decent price for a very solid icon. He looks better than Kante. So when I was comparing 85 Essien to 89 Kante, and I think this Essien card looks way better. Obviously, I think he might be slightly taller as well. He's going to have a bulkier build, so he's probably going to get the ball a little bit more. That's something what's really important when it comes to like players, is their player model. If they're quite bulky, they're usually quite good and quite hard to get off the ball. When they're like quite a thin, if they don't have good agility like Neymar, they're not as good. So like Neymar, why he's so good even though he's quite lean, is because he's so fast and his agility is super high. And that's why Kante is good, because he's got quite high agility, quick acceleration and whatnot. But I think Essien with a bulk build will be super effective into the CDM roles. As I mentioned, with Pep maybe being a replacement for Vieira, I think Essien is also one up there, but he's obviously at a slightly smaller height. But I can imagine people maybe using Essien as the cheap Vieira and then putting Huller next to him. There'd be an absolute madness in midfield with them two. Next is Zambrotta. We finally have a right back who can do a job, even a left back who can do a job. Roberto Carlos hasn't been like one of them go-to guys really in recent FIFAs due to crossing and whatnot, and I think there's better options for the price. But this Zambrotta, I think he's probably I think he was quite tall with it when he was, like I was gonna say when he was playing. He hasn't got smaller or taller when he hasn't played, but he was fairly tall, which is something is quite good, because even if a crossing meta comes back, he's going to become a usable icon, even more of a usable icon then. But just going off his like front card, his prime card here, 90 pace, 72 shot, 84 passing, 85 dribbling, 88 defending, 86 physical, absolute machine. Definitely a player I want to try out, because we haven't had a right back or a left back who icon level who's been good enough. I wanted Cafu to come in this year. I think everyone wants Cafu to come, but we didn't get him. We've actually got 2 right backs which come in, Zambrotta and Carlos Alberto, I believe, is a little bit later in the list. But yeah, Zambrotta going to be a top icon, one to pick up if you need like an icon right back for chemistry reasons and whatnot. If not, I think Kyle Walker probably do a job at the same time. So don't go and splash your money out on a Zambrotta, because Kyle Walker is going to be there. Who else is there? Cancelo. Yeah, the list goes on. Very solid options at right back on FIFA. Next, we got Kenny Dalglish. We've actually got 2 Liverpool players here on the screen with John Barnes as well. Talk more about Kenny Dalglish. I think for me, I didn't really get to see this guy play. It was a bit before my time of actually watching football, but apparently he was unreal. His car looks unreal. It depends what his skill moves and body build and stuff like this, weak foot, is really depending how good this guy is going to be. Mainly because 90 pace, 92 shot, 90 dribble, and I know a lot of good icons already we've got, like Michael Owen, Gary Lineker, all have similar stats, and the problem is they just don't cut it. For whatever reason, they just don't cut it. When a player has 4-star skills and 4-star weak foot, it puts them slightly over the people who don't have it, because you can do more with them. I also have a theory, like, if somebody has 4-star skills over somebody who has 3-star skills, their agility could be exactly the same, but the person with 4-star skills feels more fluid, more agile. So I'm hoping this Kenny Dalglish does have 4-star skills and a very solid weak foot. It'd be a very fun card to use. My dad's a Liverpool fan, so he's probably, if he knew that he's in the game, he's probably going to be like, you better be using Dalglish, but I probably won't. At the end of the day, we'll probably use R9. Next, we've got John Barnes, and this card, low-key, could be a secret gem. Depending on skill moves and weak foot, once again, as I mentioned, 4-star, 4-star. I think he's going to have a bulky build as well. And as I mentioned, bulky builds are hard to get off the ball. So I can imagine him maybe playing up top. You play I don't know, obviously depending the time of the game and how much money you've got, but I can imagine him, Neymar and Mbappe as your front three or something like that. I need to try him out, because this card is looking sick. I'm not gonna lie, his prime card is looking ridiculous. 90 pace, 87 shot, 85 pass, 91 dribble, 85 physical. I think it's one to watch, to be honest with you. Also, Ian Wright's looking very solid down there. I think we got a lot more usable Premier League English, icons this year, so it's definitely one to watch out. I need to find out his weak foot and skill moves to really actually understand if he's going to be any good. Let me just quickly check on FootWiz. Let's see if it tells us on FootWiz. So no skill moves or weak foot. So yeah, once his weak foot and skill moves is out, I'll be able to give a bit more of an analysis if he's going to be any good. Next is Ian Wright, and to be honest with you, his card is looking very solid. I think he's going to be a serious striker, but I think he's going to be very similar to the Gary Lineker, the Michael Owen, the Crespos. I think he's going to be very solid. He's going to be good. He's going to be fast, ridiculously good at finishing. His dribbling looks a little bit weak. I'm not going to lie. 82 dribbling is going to be a little bit poor. So I assume he doesn't have 4-star skills. Don't know what his weak foot is. Probably going to be 4 or 5, to be honest with you. Not too sure. I didn't really watch too much of Ian Wright back in his day, but I assume he would have quite a solid weak foot with 90 shooting. But yeah, I think he's a solid card, but I don't think he's going to be one of them go-to. And same with this guy here, Ian Rush. I'm not really too sure. I think it's more of a Liverpool fans will use him, but I don't think he looks like a Del Piero sort of esque, sort of style. That the baby Del Piero, Baggio sort of style player. Who's they're good at the start, but there's probably better gold options who's going to be a lot cheaper than him. So I don't really know if this card's going to be that useful. Same with Ian Wright. Next we got Hugo Sanchez, and this card is looking nice. I'm not going to lie, these two actually on the screen right now are looking very nice. Hugo Sanchez, the Mexican striker. I don't know, oh no, he's the second Mexican player we've now got as an icon on FIFA with what's his name, Hernandez, I think it is. Is it Luis Hernandez? I'm not too sure, but I might have actually butchered it. It is Luis Hernandez. I need to check. It is Luis Hernandez. Okay, I needed to make sure I was right there. But Luis Hernandez and Sanchez, I think Hugo Sanchez might be the slightly better one out the two. He's going to be a lot like Buccigrano, I think. Looking at his, Buccigrano's got 5-star weak foot, 3-star skills, and Buccigrano at the start of the year was actually a very good icon which wasn't used enough. I think maybe because his price was too high at the time, but as the game got on, it's sort of usability wasn't as good because obviously all the like defenders got a lot better and whatnot. But at the start, Beach Green was ridiculous because he was super fast, super agile. But the problem was he didn't have 4-star skills. If he had 4-star skills, he would have been used a lot more, in my opinion. I think Sanchez will have 4-star skills, maybe more. I'm not too sure. I hope he's got a good weak foot as well because this card is one I want to try out once again. Oh my god, we're just getting all the good icons now. We've got through a few of them. Now we're getting to the good ones. I don't know how to say his name, and I've never seen this footballer in my life. Garrincha, something like that, you know. I think he's like known for having like one leg longer than the other. I might be lying there, but I think he was known for that. But he obviously wasn't just known for having one leg longer than the other. He was obviously an unbelievable baller, as you can tell here, you know. 94 is his prime card, so his prime moment's going to be a 95, 92 and a 90 as the other two cards. So to have a baby card at rated 90, he must have been a serious baller. I think he's quite small. I think he's 5'6", and I believe they've actually somebody leaked his skill moves and weak foot. It's 5-star skills and 4-star weak foot. So I think this guy is going to be one to pick up. I think it'd be quite fun. You know, having more 5-star skillers icons is always better as well. We had JJ Okocha, and I think JJ Okocha was like known for his skills and whatnot, and it just doesn't work on FIFA for some reason. He's just not that good. But I think this card here, Garrincha, will be ridiculously good at skills. 96 dribbling, as you see there, 90 pace. I think he's going to have super high agility, going to be fun to use. Him, Neymar, you know, in your Brazilian skill teams, going to be superb to try out. Probably one of the players I'm actually thinking about putting into my pro team. Talking about pro teams, another player I am looking at is Didier Drogba. Absolute machine, absolute tank. As I'm saying about the body shapes, he's going to have quite a bulky build, to be honest with you. He's a big guy. He's going to be ridiculously good in the air. I think he's going to be a lot like Cristiano Ronaldo. I think he's going to be a lot like him, but obviously it's Drogba and it's Ronaldo, so they're going to be slightly different in some aspects. I think Ronaldo's dribbling is going to be slightly better, but Drogba, obviously you can see 90 pace, 92 shot, 90 physical. This guy's going to be a machine up top. You know, we're going to bring back corners with Drogba, I'm telling you. But yeah, solid card. Or if one to watch out for. I'm assuming he might have 4-star plus. He should have 5-star weak foot, if I'll be totally honest, but he probably have 4-star, and his skill moves probably 3-star. Personally, I would give him 4 though. Watching him when growing up, for a big guy, he has super feet, so I'm hoping he has 4-star. Will be even more usable. As I was mentioned, the sweaty new right backs and left backs into the game as icons. We got Carlos Alberto Torres, and wow. This guy is looking like a serious threat. I believe he's like 6 foot. I actually, when they announced this guy, I had no clue who he was. I needed to check his pace not his pace, his height straight away. But Carlos Alberto, 90 pace, 86 dribble, 90 defending, 87 physical, and 81 passing, 66 shooting, 66 shooting isn't that much of an issue really when it comes to a defender, so that's not too bad. But this is looking like an unbelievable right back, and I just seen this baby card. This is the first time I've seen this baby card. 82 pace, 80 dribble, 88 defending, 83 physical, and 80 passing on a centre back card. This guy's gonna be nuts. Like, what the hell? He's gonna be nuts. Put him centre back with Varane. I'm telling you. Mbappe thinks he's got pace, but he ain't seen them two at centre back. 80 dribbling is gonna be ridiculous as well, so he's gonna have good agility. I'm actually going to have to look into maybe bringing him into my team as well. That baby card is going to be probably quite expensive on the start, but you know, when it comes to pro play, you need to sort of spend the big money on the big players to get in. Talking about big players, we've got Andre Pirlo next. I believe they've gave him 5-star weak foot and 5-star skills. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they've gave him that. I might be wrong though. Wait, let me check on here. It might be announced. I'm sure I saw it got leaked. Pirlo doesn't say on here either. It's either 5-star. It's definitely got 5-star weak foot, and I think he has 5-star skills, but it might be 4-star skills. But either way, great player in real life. He's going to be quite usable, I think, off the start. If you play like a narrow, maybe as your right centre mid and left centre mid. Personally, though, I think there's better options as a gold card with like Pogba, Kante, you know, Nainggolan. There's going to be plenty of just normal goal players at a cheaper price who are going to be way better than Pirlo, but Pirlo's going to give you, obviously, it's going to be fun to use at the end of the day. So one I'm going to sort of skip over in the sense of it doesn't deserve me to skip over because it's an absolute baller in real life, but I don't see this card being that usable. I think it's going to be a fun card, but not going to be that usable. And the guy who has bring up the most complaints, you know, since when they announced this, Kaka is now in FIFA 20, 91 rated as his prime, 89 rated as his middle card, and 87 as his baby. And what an injustice they've done to Kaka. They've said when he won the Ballon d'Or and he was doing that madness for AC Milan, his 91 as his prime card is the same rated as when Ronaldinho was at PSG. And that to me blows my mind. That year when Kaka was at AC Milan was ridiculous. He was so good, man. So that really annoys me that I've absolutely butchered him here. He's going to have a prime moments card, maybe 92, 93 if they're feeling nice. But either way, the card is looking solid, to be honest with you. The stat-wise, it's looking solid. I think it should be higher rated, in my opinion. Maybe a 93, 94. Definitely should be up there. But 91 pace, 86 shooting, 88 pass, 92 dribbling, and 73 physical. Play him in cam. Play him as, probably not right centre mid, but play him as a cam. In a 4-2-3-1, narrow, 4-2-2-2, whatever you want to do. He's going to be ridiculous. Even play him up front if you want to, because it's Kaka at the end of the day. He's going to be a fun card to use. Probably 5-star skills. Probably a solid weak foot as well. Definitely one to pick up this year. As I was mentioning, like skill move teams making Dino, Kaka, Garrincha, Neymar, Mbappe. You know, there's a list of them now, which is a good thing. We're going to get a bit more versatility within teams and whatnot now. But yeah, that'll be it for the video, guys. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and peace.